Hey squad, welcome back to Prepping with Sarge. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about this terror cell, sleeper cell threat that I've been talking about. I know you guys are probably getting sick of hearing about this. This has been a major theme for my channel, is helping people prepare for the sleeper cell threat in the United States. And if you haven't seen my previous videos, we'll go ahead and get you started by linking something up there. And of course I'll put end cards and whatnot as we go. But where's this information coming from? Because, you know, we can't just like throw information out there on the YouTube and like not have some sources. Sarah, quote unquote, super bad Adams, who was a former CIA targeter during the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, established numerous agents inside Al-Qaeda and ISIS-K, which when she was a CIA targeter. And she still has some contacts within those entities who are giving her some information about what's being planned for the United States. So again, I strongly encourage you to watch some of those previous videos, which again, we'll go ahead and link up here. And we need to start thinking about this and how are you going to respond. That's why I've been doing a lot of these VR scenarios and whatnot. So this one here is not a VR scenario, but if you wanted to put any information down in the comments about like what you think you might do if you're in this situation. Recently she released a little bit more information where she's getting intel that what they want to do is plan an attack similar to the October 7th attack that Hamas did in Israel, where they basically just come in and start slaughtering civilians, as many as they can. Well, she's got a little bit more information that she's sharing now, in that they think that what would be planned here is that numerous attacks spread across different areas in the United States, that apparently they've already got over 1,000 fighters embedded in the United States. Those are called sleeper cells. They're just basically waiting for the order to go ahead and attack. They've already smuggled in some heavy weapons. We've posted proof of that in previous live streams, including rocket launchers and things like that, some of which have been intercepted at the border, but it's a pretty good bet that they didn't catch nearly enough of it. So this stuff's already in the United States. It's going to happen. The question is, how much damage can they do, and what are we going to do to react to it? More information that she has shared is that they've obviously learned from the October 7th attack in Israel, and they want to do even better than that. And so what they want to do is basically what's called a double tap. So if you've never heard of this before, not talking about like pom with your firearms, double tap in this case is when, and this actually goes back to other terrorist organizations like the IRA would do stuff like this, where they hit a target knowing that first responders are going to come to render aid to that target. And then when the first responders arrive, they hit it again with something bigger, like a, right? So, or possibly a sniper or something like that. So this is what they're planning. And then when they take out most of the first responders that are on duty in that community, then they're going to launch their October 7th attack, which means it's going to take a very long time for any kind of organized response from, say, National Guard or nearby first responders from nearby cities and things like that. So basically Americans are going to be on their own dealing with this nonsense and violence for quite a while before help arrives. You need to be thinking about that, first of all, as a civilian. Do you have proper first aid? Do you know how you're going to protect yourself and your family? What if you're not at home when this happens? Does your family know what to do? All that stuff we've covered in previous topics in different scenarios. But what about the first responders, right? Like from what she's saying, because she's going around the country trying to warn first responders about this, most of them are not getting this intel. It's not being fed down from the Pentagon and Department of Defense that like this is the intel that exists. That's a problem, folks. First responders need to know what they're walking into. They're not going to refuse to go and render aid, but they need to know that when they get there, there could be a double tap attack. So she's doing her best to respond to that. I know I have a lot of first responders who watch my channel. You all know that I am a therapist who works with first responders. So I appreciate y'all, appreciate the sacrifices that you and your family make to keep this country safe. But we got to get this word out. So if you know somebody who in your family or a friend who's a first responder, I need you to share this video with them. I need you to start getting them watching the interviews with Sarah Adams on the Sean Ryan show and get on her newsletter, and they need to be aware of it so they can share it out within their communities. Because Apparently our Pentagon and our DOD is failing to get this message down. Folks, we're going to get caught with our pants down, and it's going to be really, really bad, okay? So that's the message for today. Let's take a quick break here before I close you out, and let's get a word from our sponsor. Folks, this video is sponsored by AppMex. AppMex is my choice for purchasing online gold and silver. I've been using AppMex for years. They always ship really fast. I get exactly what I want, and it's shipped in a discrete package so that not everybody who's handling it can tell what it is. That's really important for security when you're purchasing gold and silver online. Why do preppers like gold and silver? Well, I can tell you why I like it. It is the most anonymous form of currency. You can use it to exchange to any type of currency anywhere in the world, and it survived the collapse of empires as a source of wealth. You can check out AppMex by using the link that I'm going to put on the screen right now. Tell them Prepping with Sarge sent you. All right, I want to say thank you once again to AppMex for sponsoring our video. Really, really appreciate working with brands like this. As you guys know, it is very hard as a prepper or a survivalist channel to get the message out. This is just not the kind of content that social media promotes. So it's up to us by word of mouth, and therefore we don't make a lot of money on the channel. But thankfully, because of good support from brands like that previous sponsor, we are able to stay sustainable. So please support them by going ahead, checking out their website. Use my link. It helps me out as well. Not so much in this case of a commission, but it tells them that I'm getting the message out on their behalf. So I appreciate if you do that. Now, for the rest of us, again, remember, make sure you are preparing. You need to be getting your first aid training. You need to be, if you are somebody who carries a CCW, you need to be training, and that's not just a static range. You need to be practicing like paintball, airsoft, or a range where they let you do some movement and shoot at targets that are behind cover. You need to practice your things like retention reloads, how to move from spot to spot using cover, how to move with a team. You need to know what things like slicing the pie are, and how to flank. If you guys don't know this terminology, you're not getting enough training. You need to train with somebody who is a really experienced firearms trainer. It's different than hunting, right? So you need to train with somebody who's actually seen combat action. Usually former law enforcement a lot of times is a good option. Former military a lot of times is a good option. Make sure you're getting training from the people who actually know what they're doing. Going to the range once a month and shooting a box of ammo, not enough. We are not prepared for this, folks. You guys need to get on it, okay? I appreciate you so much. Take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Keep planting your seeds. Keep stacking your silver. This is Prepping with Sarge.